This is The Witcher 3. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. The Witcher 3, one of the greatest games ever created, a legendary experience, and one that did get a current-gen update a while back, and it's great to see the dynamic resolution scaling allowing us to enjoy a better looking game on the PS5 Pro than we had originally with the, well, base PlayStation 5. It's really quite exciting, a riveting journey across the lands with the, well, basically Geralt of Rivia, and yeah, it's literally one of the greatest games ever made, as I said a few times, and I can't wait to dive in and talk about this experience and what it has to offer here on the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is kind of exciting. So, an incredible open-world role-playing game that really did just blow my mind when this released in the last generation, and getting a big upgrade a while back, a couple years now, I think, and then, could you please get, okay, I'll get off and I'll dismount. You just sit here. Thanks, Roach. Thanks. And you know, there were some little performance hiccups here and there, and you know, stuff like that. But now we have a lot more of a, I guess you would say, overhead. A lot more overhead in terms of getting this looking better and running better. So let's dive in and talk about the modes. What you've been seeing here probably doesn't feel very fluid because it is the ray tracing mode, the quality mode. So this is a dynamic 1440p, and it's at 30 FPS. So being dynamic, we actually get a lot more closer to that full 1440p, and it uses this entire game, FSR 2.1 across the board, to do a temporarily upscaling to 4K. And this has ray tracing, because it's the ray tracing mode, where it's ambient occlusion and global illumination. So this mode is like your sort of cinematic, beautiful looking mode, cool, whatever. I prefer the performance mode because it's a lot better. There's also motion blur settings, blur options, lots of other configuration stuff. Alright, so this is the performance mode. So this is your dynamic 4K at 60 FPS, and yeah, it's really quite fluid now with a little bit more overhead. During heavier sequences, you might notice a couple drops here or there, but it is a much better performing experience, and you get a lot closer to that sort of full 4K that you weren't able to with the base PS5 because, you know, just from a overhead standpoint, there wasn't as much that it could do in terms of the dynamic resolution scaling, and this keeps a lot closer to that full 4K as opposed to dipping a lot lower. I think the lower bounds or something like that was 1080p, but we should actually, across your experience of playing this mighty, incredible game, be getting a lot closer to the full 4K, which is absolutely fantastic, and the game looks breathtaking. It's clean, it's sharp, it's stunning. As I mentioned, it is literally one of the greatest games ever, and if you've been waiting for some kind of weird excuse to come in and play The Witcher 3, now is your time. There's also HDR support. And let me sit here and just talk about how absolutely amazing this game is, how incredibly detailed it is, and how I continue to yearn for more Witcher experiences because it really is just that remarkable. So I played through this over like a weekend on the Xbox One when it first came out. It was quite a grind because the game is at least 25 hours. Like, seriously, at least 25 hours long. And that's, like, just gunning through it to try to get it done so that I could, you know, do my review and stuff back in the day. And since then, we've gotten 2 mighty expansions. I believe as far as, like, releases go, everything is kind of like one complete edition package now if you're kind of jumping into it. But yeah, you get 2 expansions that are basically the size of full video games. You get, the first is sort of a fairy tale kind of oriented thing. That one's a little sillier, but still intense and still on brand, and a lot of fun. There's this incredibly gorgeous and just cute redhead medic lady you get to interact with, and you get to do these funny fairy tale scenes where Geralt's a little out of body, ghoul-wise, and then you get blood and wine. And Blood and Wine has to deal with, like, vampires and... Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, Blood and Wine is amazing. And one of the, if not the greatest DLC expansion to a video game ever created. Like, it's just incredible. Can you not get across there, horse? Is this for real? Can Roach not get across this? Can I not get across this? No, I can. Roach, what was what was Roach's deal there? That's kind of funny. Anyways, yeah, this game is just stunning. Whether you're playing the main game, like, you could go find a several-hour, like, side quest to go venture off into. You'll be like, oh yeah, I was doing main story stuff, like, 2 seconds ago. And you'll just get lost for, like, hours doing, like, side activities and visiting different places. And as I mentioned, like, Blood and Wine is just simply incredible. Maybe I'll do, like, a standalone video talking about Blood and Wine. Really, really, genuinely, just amazing looking, breathtaking side areas, and that one had some performance issues, so that one would be kind of an interesting revisit. But, like, you've got a world that's just filled to the brim with detail. Every now and then, you get a game that just really pushes technical boundaries, because you got to remember, like, this came out on the PlayStation 4, right? Like, and the PS4 was good. Like, it was, you know, it was a good console for its time, but wow, when you know, just kind of think about tech pushing and just the quality of this experience, and you compare it to then, it's really genuinely amazing how good this game looked on that hardware. One of the, like, really, really best looking games ever. And I mean, to some degree, I know technology has improved in different ways when it comes to, like, games and open world games, but just, like, the level of detail in, like, the fauna and everything, like just, like, look at all the grass and the trees, and everything moves too, and everything's reactive. That's what was so amazing to me when I first played this back in the day, was the fact that, like, everything has movement to it. It's stunning. Like, you see creatures going along, like animals, and then there's monsters, but, like, all the plants and everything like that, they all move. All the trees move. There's birds that pop out. There's, you know, when you cause, like, fire effects or something like that, depending on your various abilities, it's just, like, really, really remarkably incredible and so detailed. And I think that detail comes alive a little bit better on the PS5 Pro, which is kind of expected because it is, you know, such an upgrade. But yeah, this game really is just absolutely amazing, from story to gameplay to style. There really isn't much out there quite like this game. And then the maturity of it too. I love the CD Projekt Red games because they're actually mature, like adult. There's, you know, romantic scenes and engagements and stuff that you can do with various characters, and, like, there is a lot that you can kind of interact with and a lot you can see and do. And it's just kind of really amazing that a game... I must find a fast travel post. I totally forgot about that. Why is the map still, like, kind of laggy? It's just, like, it's amazing that a game... That's a custom thing. Oh, the Orphans of Crunkback. I guess we should go down to Down Warren. But, like, it's just stunning that a game looks this good and plays this well and offers this scope of an environment. Like, it's just incredible. Like, every time I get to go back and play The Witcher 3 and have an excuse to, I am just floored by what it has to offer, because this game is so breathtaking. And it is just, like, the perfect time to play this game and actually get a little bit more overhead. Like, if you're looking for games that kind of give you a little bit more of what the PS5 Pro can do, I think The Witcher 3 would be one of those games where you're just like, wow, this is a remarkably enchanting experience that just is amazing. And there's a lot that I could show off in The Witcher 3 as well. Like, this game is huge. Absolutely massive. And this is like one of the cities, which I like to show off. Like, there's so many different areas that you can find yourself sort of exploring and diving into and causing all sorts of, like, mayhem. And it's a role-playing game, too. Like, you make choices that will impact your world. You make decisions that will greatly alter the course of, you know, this place, this continent that you're visiting. And then those expansions, the first one, a little bit new areas, kind of goes through these spots too. But like then you go and you play Blood and Wine, and it's like a whole new continent and a whole new world to dive into. It's just incredible what they've achieved here, and it's a game that is, you know, mature adult. It's got great fantasy role-playing. It's got great levels of like magic and characters and detail. Like every part of this game filled to the brim with things going on, but characters you can interact with, characters you can talk with, individuals you can meet, pubs you can go to, other types of questionable places, which I totally forgot that's what this is, so we're just gonna not go in there, just in case. But no, you're, you know, basically trained from youth as this witcher, this hero. Well, not really. You are a monster hunter. You know, your job is, like, literally, you are augmented so that you can hunt monsters. She waves at me. And that's kind of really exciting, is that you exist in this world as, like, a thing that's, like, to a degree, a bit of an outcast. Witchers are treated as such, but something that is so important because they need to toss coins to you, huh? But yeah, no, the Witcher has like a distinct purpose. Sure, there's cities and everything like that, but the Witcher exists as a very important tool that can be called upon and used because you are one that basically deals with creatures, giant monsters and enemies of like basically man, and you know, you have slightly improved abilities. You're not like a sorceress. You're not like a magic. Like, you have like a level of power to you, right? But like, you're also not necessarily powerful, like you would say, like the Triss in Yennefer and stuff like that. But you might punch above your weight class here or there in terms of what you have to offer. But really, the thing is this game is amazing. It is so breathtaking, and it loads so much faster too. This area is going to load a little slower because we're literally going to a whole new like island area, but like I hope that again someday down the road I get to play a game that is sort of at this level of quality when it comes to like scale. Roach, where are you, Roach? What are you doing, Roach? Why are you here? Not that witch Yennefer. Hey, she's a very pretty woman. I kind of really like Triss, though. Triss is kind of where it's at. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, it's... I just can't get over how amazing this game is. And if you haven't noticed, I'm trying to take you to all of the big key spots so that you can see how everything kind of runs in the main areas of The Witcher. So, just keep that in mind. Like, there is method to the mayhem of what I'm doing. And I think if you're an experienced Witcher 3 player, you kind of get what I've been trying to do in terms of, like, showing off the key areas so that you can see what the performance level is kind of like. And it's been really smooth outside of the map for whatever reason, which I think is sort of hilarious. Yeah, the map has been a bit of a problem child for me for sure. But I don't know. I think if you haven't played The Witcher, you will love it. I do believe... if you are having any sort of difficulty or anything like that with this game, there are difficulty edges or options you can change, and like it's a role-playing game, so it is one where you can kind of improve your ability to... Did I get blown up by a barrel? Was that what had killed me there? Was it like a barrel exploding? That kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. I definitely didn't expect to get barreled. Trying to be all cool using my abilities and killing some guys easily. and then I get taken out by a barrel. Like, I've also been trying to trigger, like, a conversation with somebody, but these are all, like, just run-of-the-mill NPCs. It is amazing, though, like, that you can kind of interact with, like, every sort of NPC in the world. You can interact with, like, everything, and everything moves, and... Like, it's so crazy. Like, it feels... Even today, and despite this game being, what, not, like, almost a decade old, it feels like even today games are not, like, at this level of quality, so many of them. And it's funny, too, because some games will be like, oh, this is great and stuff, but then you, like, kind of think of, compare it to The Witcher, and you're like, well, I mean, it's not The Witcher 3 levels of great. Okay, so if I go like this, would that blow up that barrel and, like, not kill me? It's just like, I don't want the barrel to, like, explode beside me and, you know, end my life and all that stuff. This game is so violent and awesome. It's fantastic. But, like, it's so clean running and everything like that, which I love the most. Like, it looks so good on the Pro.
Come on, Roach.
I know it's still, like, one of my original games that I'm looking at on the PS5 Pro, but I still regret not diving in even faster to this. Because this game just blows my mind. Ugh. There's a reason I also tried not to play The Witcher 3, and that's because I like whenever I go and play it, I kind of just get stuck playing it for a while, if that makes sense. I go, oh, this, and oh, I remember doing that, and then visiting different places and seeing different characters, and, you know, it's always a good time to see what Dandelion's up to and stuff. Yeah, the big womanizer there. Thanks, Roach. Oh, Roach, you've seen worse scenarios. I think I've literally, like, went up against massive creatures with this thing. Roach is pretty reliable, but at the same time, Roach is just basically like the next horse that you kind of grab when you're going about places. Honestly, which is funny. But no, there's like this whole land here. This is just like one of the areas of the game. There's just so many like spaces you can visit. It's fascinatingly large, like honestly. It's just they've really created something amazing. Can I actually, is this set up for me to go? And the music. Oh, I always forget to talk about the music. Yeah, this is like blood. I think this is Blood and Wine, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Breathtaking area. I don't know if I have a fast. It looks like I don't have a fast travel point to this one. It's hard to tell when you're doing your, I guess you would say like review type things, if that makes sense, like what I have access to. Because I know on Xbox I have that because I have streaming and everything like that, but I don't know if I bother to on the Xbox side of things. Oh, that's the Royal Plaza. I think that's, maybe that's where you trigger that one. Oh no, that's an actual part of the quest, and there's the White Orchard, like your starter area and everything, and we started the stream over like in this territory, and is this where you start like Blood and Wine? Oh yeah, so that's actually where you start Blood and Wine. If there's enough of you guys want to see that kind of thing, like you want to see, I guess you would say, the Blood and Wine area shown off, let me know and I can, you know, I'll take 2 minutes to go and set that up. So there's just so many games I'm working on and stuff like that. I'd love to do a romantic, breathtaking journey across the countryside to go and visit that. And then, like, the dynamic weathering you get here, too. Stunning. Oh. It really is. It's just kind of, like, amazing. And then there's, you know, like, there's whole armor systems, there's alchemy, there's quest lines. Look at how the clouds move. There's just... Oh, and it runs so good here on the Pro. There's just not really much out there like this game. It's... Every time I play it, I just... Oh, I don't know. It's hard to really fully describe, too, how you kind of feel when you play like this type of game. Like, I mean, I've been talking about it with words and stuff like that and showing off how amazing it is. But I'm sure other people will leave comments too, talking about how
faster,
you know, blown away they are by this as well. And that's probably why I was down south as I was making my way to go over to the Blood Wine area. I bet that's why. Yeah, maybe it'd be worth doing another stream of this, but do Blood and Wine on the PS5 Pro. That might be a fun stream, actually. Really genuinely a good time. So let's continue up the coast, and yeah, we're doing a long dive into The Witcher 3 because this is a game that deserves the full showcase, especially for those that can't get enough of it. Like, look at the lighting! Ah.
Let's go.
CD Projekt Red. Oh, man. There's, like, there's video games, and then there's CD Projekt Red video games. And every time I play one of their games, it's just, like, amazing. Like, I can't wait to see what they have in the pipeline. Like, we're getting, you know, a Witcher remake, we're getting a fourth Witcher, we're getting another Cyberpunk. Like, they've got so much good stuff coming. The only disappointment is how long it takes to get sequels. That's the only thing that's disappointing, is how long you have to wait for the next entry, but usually the results are quite excellent. I mean, you know, Cyberpunk had a bit of a rocky journey for sure, but most of the time you do get something like this where you are absolutely just floored by it and love every second of it. And it's one of those games where I really should... These bad guys. I really should do another run of it someday. Are you guys bandits or are you just like soldiers?
Slow now. Whoa.
These guys have bad attitudes.
Run, Roach.
Everybody treats Geralt horribly. But, you know, he's a bit of a boss, what can I say? We haven't really shown off, like, this game has stunning, like, cinematics and narrative and moving gameplay and emotional context. And, you know, like, the big part of the story, too, I guess, from a perspective, if you don't really know anything about the narrative here, is that this is, it's basically standalone. Like, if you've never, like, obviously, like, it continues the events of The Witcher 2. But, like, if this is your first Witcher game, you'll be kind of blown away by it, and also you can enjoy the story without having played the previous Witcher titles. And you can make fresh choices and engage in this in fresh and unique ways, which is great. Yeah, because it does act to some degree very well as something that you can play in a standalone manner, or you can enjoy as part of the overall trilogy. And hopefully someday these are all available to people to be enjoyed together, if that makes sense, in an upgraded kind of way. It's hard to do that with trilogies, especially with games that take so long to make, but with The Witcher 1 remake happening, I could see them doing some kind of upgraded definitive thing for The Witcher 2 down the road as well. That game does hold up decently well. It could use some combat adjustments and such too, but anyways, I digress. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are just blown away by the visuals of the stunning landscape. Like, ugh, so good. It looks so real too. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely kind of real in the sense that there's just so much going on here. And I have lots of other tools. It's just so much easier to just kind of burn these guys and cut them and they just die like instantly. They're pretty low level enemies. Like, it's not a big deal for me. A Witcher as powerful as the, you know what I mean? I could just like get lost in this countryside for hours, which is not good for business. It's just not good for business. No, it is not. Oh. Yeah, I love this game. I wish, you know, could you imagine if all games were like at this level of like quality and stuff like that? It'd be just amazing. I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't do more kind of like expansions. Like, I guess they did want to work on other projects or whatnot, but yeah, this is gonna be one of the definitive games, I'm pretty sure, of like my lifetime. Like, this will be something I'll be revisiting for decades down the road. I hope they do keep like remastering and upgrading it, and obviously if they do further PS5 Pro upgrade, I'll come back and take a look at this, but I don't think they would. I don't know what else they would really do with this outside of maybe uncapping the other mode, like the ray tracing mode, but that would be really cool. That's actually something I thought they would maybe save for like the PS6, would be uncapping the ray tracing mode, because we'd have the overhead to be able to do that for sure. Ah, we haven't even really talked to characters or anything like that. I wonder if where Yennefer and Triss are hanging out at this point. I'm sure they've got some sort of thing. It's hard to remember where exactly I am on this game, because like obviously you finish it, got it finished on Xbox, and then it's like Can't remember what the build status was and everything like that when I got this, because it was really cool. I actually got to check this out early. They were, you know, they let me access it early to make content, so I could, you know, dive in and take a look at it, the upgraded version, and that was an incredible opportunity. So always a thanks to CD Projekt Red for that when I got to do it. It did get me stuck on an older build of the game, so it was hard to cover updates for it and do another video thing, but no, I think you will. If you stuck around this long and you're still looking, you're still somehow not sold on this, you're crazy, but yeah, I think it will be one of those long-term games, because it does hold up so beautifully well, and so future-proofed, right? I guess the only thing you could really do would be to, like, upgrade, like, textures, improve maybe, like, character model sizing and stuff like that, because it does look very of that era, but yeah, I think you'd have really incredibly diminishing returns. But it wouldn't be PlayStation if they didn't remake games that don't need remakes, am I right? That would be so funny. Wild dog. Leave Roach alone. Roach is just trying to live Roach's best life. Such a good horse. Anyways, The Witcher 3. Incredible. Oh, I forget. I totally got off pace. So yeah, like you're here doing hunts and stuff like that, but like you're actually looking for someone. You're looking for Ciri, who you and Yennefer have like a very close emotional tie to, and that's kind of the whole of the game. Is you're trying to find out where she is, what she's doing, what happened to her, and that's sort of the heart of the story, is seeing what she's up to, as she is a powerful being, and it all ties into this greater like conflict and prophecy type thing, and there's a lot to it. She's a great character too. Most of the characters are fantastic in this. Look at that guy's fishing over there. Yawn. Hopefully not on this video yawning, but like look at the level of detail, just like all the characters, NPCs and stuff like that. I wish more games had this level of detail and quality and design to them. There really is a few games out there that quite hit like The Witcher hits. How is there like a bandit right here beside this, like, this is like a bit of a refugee type area? What's all the way over there? Where am I right now? Oh, the border post that takes you over to the mainland. Okay. That makes sense. Is that a bad horse? Roach, what are you doing? Why are you standing like that, Roach? Like, it's cool that your horse can physically do that, but like, why is Roach doing that? Roach confuses me sometimes. Anyways, if you're playing this, you should probably buy all the DLC and play the full game, and you will not regret a single second of it, because this game is so amazing. And if you can't get into it, I don't know. You're probably one of the odd ones out there. Just throwing it out. Just throwing it out there. You're probably a little bit odd if you can't really get into the magic of The Witcher 3, but you know, everyone's a little bit different and all to their own. Can we just get off our horses and just kill each other? That guy don't look too good. Oh, there's another bandit here. I disagree. You're roasted. Look at this guy. He's had better days. And I couldn't think of a more beautiful, majestic countryside to be, like, slaying these guys in. It really is a lovely day to slay across the countryside. If I really wanted to, I could probably just sit here and straight up do like an hour of this and it would be no problem, but I hope this gave you a good enough look at how great this game looks and runs on the PS5 Pro. It is remarkable. Stunning. My eyes always, you know, I always get floored by this. And if they could take this a little bit further on the PS5 Pro, that would be amazing, but I think we're very happy, we're going to be very happy, most people, and satisfied with the incredible level of detail that this version brought, and you know, hopefully we'll be revisiting this, I guess, in a number of years on the PS6. And I can't wait to do so, because this game is amazing. And do yourself a favor and have a venture with Geralt. Have Rivia. and enjoy this miraculous experience. It's just absolutely incredible and looks just beautiful. I mean, look at that.